Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku. Deku, spoilers ahead, he has finally had to deal with something about being a superhero. The reason why he wears a mask is to protect his secret identity and the people closest to him. But one of those people just died. The event that made him become Spider-Man? His father dying, thanks to a mugging gone wrong. But now, his old science teacher, Mr. Shizuki, he has fully gone off the rails. The man's lost his mind and become the lizard. He is no longer the man that remains. It's just him. The lizard and the predator inside. It has shown its true colors. And Deku, whenever he tried to cure the man of his ailment, the Green Goblin showed up. And Deku, in a fight between these three, Deku, he failed to save Toga. And Toga, she fell to her death from the building. Deku, he was knocked down by a missile. And after it blew up, he jumped out the building to try and save her. But he couldn't catch her. He couldn't shoot the web far enough, nor could he fall fast enough. And I almost said it again, Toga, she fell to her death. Now, Deku, yeah. After dealing with all that, he didn't know what to do. He lost his father because he didn't step in. And then whenever he tried to step in, he couldn't make it in time. Right now, Deku, he has a lot going through his head. And right now, there's one thing he does need. Advice. Because he's working on something, and he's not too sure if he should really use it. He sees the criminals going on. He sees how there are more and more popping up. From what he's heard recently, there's been a string of break-ins, and he's also heard some rumors from criminals. They called this guy, what was his name again? Something boss. I mean, they called him something. The king of crime? Yeah. Deku, he heard rumors, and he did not believe many of them. However, right now, Deku, he did get to suit up. Mr. Osborn gave him paid time off, and Deku, he used that money to buy materials. And sadly, so far, his suit, his homemade one, was destroyed. So Deku, he decided to invest a little bit. Right now, it's just cheap. Right now, it's just a red hood, or a red hoodie, kind of, made of spandex material, and then there's also the blue pants. They didn't have the black material in stock, so sadly he had to buy blue. Whenever he can, though, he wants to actually change up the color scheme. But then again, right now, that's not his main concern. Deku going to somewhat suit up with some specialized shoes. Him going to put on some gloves, and then going to put on the mask, as he does gotta leave. Now, Deku's mother is very concerned. Over the last few weeks, Deku, he's been, isolating himself, and from what she heard, he might have been having nightmares. She wants to see about getting Deku put into therapy. Talk to him about it, but, the death of his girlfriend, he's mourning, and trying to make him confront that right now, it feels like it would be worse. She wants to talk to him, see how he's doing. But Deku, he is doing bad. People tried to tell him he couldn't save her, but she was right there. Just a few more feet, just a few more meters, and he could have had her in his hands. But Deku, he failed. Now, Deku, he needed advice, and there were some people he knew that he can receive some from. As right now, Deku, he does actually land on the Baxter building. Him going to crawl up it, and go to actually try and find a way inside. As Deku is going to find a window, he does it to bring his hand up. Him going to grab onto the barely open one, and going to pull it up. As Deku is going to crawl into the Baxter building. Now, the Fantastic Four, they are here. And right now, Deku, he actually is doing a few things. But most importantly, he's disturbed Mr. Richards' research. He found something very strange on an asteroid. He went to go explore space. The Fantastic Four are adventurers, and they brought something back. But exactly trying to study it is very strange. It's a rock, but it's made of a strange substance. It's weird because he gets strange readings from it, and they don't seem to be correct. From what it suggests, it's right now Reed being a bit more distracted, especially whenever Deku does try to at least talk to him. You must be Reed Richards. Jesus! How did you get in here? Mr. Fantastic on his own stretch out his hand and try to tell him he can't be inside the building. This is important research and they're going to move. As Ray does so, they're actually going to smash into a wall. Him going to bring his hand up and. Wow. They're going to turn his head. As right now, Susan Storm, she's going to walk in, trying to ask him exactly what is going on and who that is. And Rita's trying to talk about how Deku is an intruder. And right now, the thing, he is given an alert by Susan. Someone's inside the Baxter building, and they believe that they might be trying to steal his research. And the thing, or Ben, if you want to be a bit more, you know, namey, he does at least walk into the lab. And right now, Deku, he does to bring his hands up, trying to talk to all of them. He's not here to do anything. He's Spider-Man. Now, they'll just start him confused. Spider-Man? What's with the... Yeah, the outfit needs work. Listen, I'm not here to... I just want advice. Now, right now Reed is confused. And Deku, he doesn't say it out loud. Whenever he tried to battle against the lizard, a few things went wrong. And he's worried. The girl you couldn't save. Yeah. I'm sorry. She was... She was my girlfriend. Now, Ben is just on stare at Deku. Him hanging his head. As right now, Ben, he does at least walk forwards. And Deku, his spider sense immediately does gonna go off. Him gonna look directly at the thing and throw his hand up. Gonna shoot a spider web. As the moment the web does fly out and onto the thing's mouth, Johnny Storm just come running in. Him gonna flame on and blast out fire directly at Deku. Now, Deku, he actually just wants to turn. Him gonna leap backwards and into the air. Him gonna actually kick his legs off the building as he's gonna rush forwards. Him actually being hit by the thing as the thing does send Deku smashing backwards and into the rock that Reed was trying to study. Deku breaking it. Now, Deku is hit by something. And right now, after Deku does gonna actually bring his hands up and go to grab onto the back, he has to climb up the building backwards. Him right now gonna stand up and gonna throw out his hands. As right now Reed, he has to turn to Johnny yelling at him. And then Susan does it to bring her hands up. Her gonna trap Deku in an invisible barrier. Now, right now Johnny, he actually is confused. And Ben, he is just staying there with his mouth covered in spiderwebs. As right now, Johnny, he's told to calm down. And that this is Spider-Man. Now, Johnny does get a somewhat flame off. And whenever he does at least look at Ben, he does a somewhat laugh, talking about how he finally got him to shut him up. Mmm. 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 Right, big guy, here. Johnny bringing his hand up and going to burn away the spiderwebs. Before Ben is going to say one simple thing. Fuck you, Johnny. Now, Deku doesn't want to start that. And right now, Deku, he doesn't want to cross his hands or cross his arms, as he's lowered back to the ground. And Susan is trying to ask Reed exactly if his research is, well, tainted. Aside from the sample I have being destroyed, yes, it is. Listen, kid, being a superhero, oh God, that took me hours to. You know what? We'll go find more. I'm sorry about all that. I'm sorry about Johnny being an airhead. Or a hothead, I guess. More accurately. Anyways, you want to be a superhero. I have to be. What do you mean you have to be? Now, Deku doesn't want to stare down at the four, and Susan does going to lower Deku down. Before Deku, he actually just wants to sit there on the ground. I'm going to tell them. A few months back, his father was killed. He had a chance to stop it. He just sat there and watched the rubber run away. He saw the man get confronted by somebody. He thought it was their problem, so he ran off. He found out hours later that his dad was shot by the man. His dad was the one who got involved. And then whenever it came to the lizard and the Green Goblin, he was overwhelmed. He was caught by surprise and he doesn't know what to do. He has an idea, but he wants their advice. Now, right now they do try to tell him, Deku, what to do. Deku, he seems to be very angry. He seems to be very, well, sad. He has a lot of emotions running through his head. The idea of losing somebody is hard. You think if you were there, you could save them. But then there's the difference between thinking that and actually being there. Deku, he tried his best. And Deku doesn't get angry. I'm going to turn and yell at Reed about that. No, he didn't. He could have done more. He could have tried more. He could have been a better hero. And Reed does this trying to tell Deku to calm down. But Deku does get angry. And right now, they're actually starting to walk back over to the window. I'm going to leap out and swing away. And right now, Reed does just want to turn back to the rock, as he does actually go to study the pieces he does find. Deku is hit by a lot of force. And that's odd. Is something wrong, Reed? It was hollow. It was. Yes, but the material, I'm gonna have to conduct further scans. Because I don't believe that this has the signature anymore. Now, Deku does swing away. And we do actually cut to hours later, where Deku, he decided to make a bit of a trip. And currently we do actually have Tony Stark, who he's laying on the couch as a few people are sleeping. And he does not get woken up. Whenever Jarvis does try to tell him about a security alert. And Iron Man does just sit up bringing his hand up to his head. Jarvis, music down. Off. Yes, sir. The music being cut. And right now Tony does just stand up and look around. Him going to grab a bottle and then to pour himself another drink. Before he hears someone knock it back, and Deku hears someone step into the room. As Tony, he heard a sound that can only be described as a door being pulled out from the lock. Now, Deku does this step in, asking Tony Stark, is this how he deals with the loss? Fucking hell, kid. Red and blue and... Are you a cop? No. I'm Spiderman. Sorry. Sorry, it's just... Is this how you do it? Try and make jokes? Crack jokes? Is this how you deal with losing people, Tony? Is this how you do it? Stark remaining silent. And Deku does one step forwards, asking, all the money in the world and all the power in the world, all the intelligence, and he's just a raging alcoholic. So what is it? Is this how he copes with not being able to save people? The people he misses? Is this what he should do? Kid, Listen, it's not like that. You don't know half the shit I've been through. Tell me, please. I'm more than willing to hear. I was locked up in a cave. Other side of the world. Weapons manufacturing. Now, Tony does try to tell Deku his origin. And Deku does gotta listen. The man was given a choice. He had to let somebody die. That person sacrificed their life to save him. And Tony got out of there because of him. And then Tony, he went on to be a superhero. He spent years trying to save people. He's had failures. Some after others. repeatedly, but he's always trying to get back up. Even right now, he was a superhero. He stopped some guy last week who was pretty fucking dangerous. And so far, with things being quiet, he wanted to relax and have a drink. You drink all the time. Maybe I do. Kid, I'm scared. Of what? Everything. So that's your excuse? I lost my father and my girlfriend within the same year. I could have saved both of them. So that's why you're here. Jarvis, pull up all files related to Spider-Man. Now, Deku doesn't look around. Jarvis. Yes, sir. Spider-Man. Alias known. Identity unknown. Last related news story disappearance. Before that, failure to save Himiko Toga. Himiko Toga. I'm sorry, kid. Last dated 27 days ago. Is that why you're here? Ask a raging alcoholic for advice? How I deal with shit, how I cope? I don't, kid. I poison myself. You see this thing on my chest right here? That's the arc reactor. Yeah. It used to run on something that I thought was gonna fucking kill me. Now it doesn't. Now the only thing killing me is myself. I try to do my best, but it is troubling sometimes. All the money in the world and all the tech I have. You have superpowers. What do I got? Billions and toys. A big fancy suit. Take that all away from me. What am I? No money, no power. No knowledge. I'm just a very smart man. But I'm just human. Don't forget that, kid. You think Spider-Man's a symbol. But what about the man underneath? The man underneath he needs to look in the mirror and reflect. Now, Deku is going to watch Tony Stark. And Tony, he does try to offer Deku a drink. Deku going to look at Tony Stark a bit more sideways. Ask him, really? I meant water. Just, listen. Try to keep your head up. Try to do what you think is right. And what about that? What about what? What about what I think is right? What if it's not the right thing? Then try. Try? Yeah. Try to be better. Do better. Try to save. I could have used those lessons and advice. I could have used a boot in my ass too, and I think this might be my wake-up call. Now, Deku, he doesn't like this. Tony Stark is beating himself up, but he's using himself as an example. He fell off the wagon. He, in the best way of saying it, met the devil at the end of that bottle. And right now, he's fighting his own demons. Deku, he's heard about the stories from Tony Stark. He's heard about what he's been through. The man was the best example he could use. Somebody who hit their lowest point. And he thought that this would make himself feel better. But he just feels madder. He feels more angry. And Deku, he does get a leave. And we do actually have Tony Stark, who, he walked back over and picked up his glass. Him about to take a sip of it, before Deku look at the glass. Him going to walk over to the sink and pour it out. Now, Tony Stark, he does go to leave. Right now, deciding to get away from the tower. Now, Deku, he does get to head back home. And right now, he does feel a little bit strange. He feels a little weird. He doesn't know what's going on. His head is telling him to do something. something bad, but it's hard to try to tell him to do something different. And he's full of anger. He's full of rage. And right now, Deku, there actually is where he doesn't head back home to sleep. Eventually being woken up somewhere around the afternoon, whenever his mom knocked on his door, trying to find out if he was okay. And Deku, he sat up, him going to look around as he's still in the Spider-Man costume. And Deku, yeah, he just tried to tell his mom, just leave him alone. And right now, Deku, he went to go turn, walking over to the window and opening it up. Before Deku, he actually went to go turn back. Him looking at his costume. Huh? Now, Deku, he actually has to walk over and look at it. It's... Wait, no, he's still wearing his costume, so why is this one... Now, Deku is going to find a note. Him going to look at it. Tony Stark. Thanks for the boot in the ass. And Deku, he's a bit more alarmed. But how did he... Now, Deku does stare down at the threads. They're black. But... Huh. Now, Deku, he actually does to put on the new suit. And there actually is where he does this one feel a lot more... comfortable. Wow. This actually does feel a lot better, and well, he doesn't feel chafing in the arms and the armpits, but this suit, it feels high tech. Now, Deku, he does go to swing away, and right now, he feels strange. A few things are going through his mind, and Deku, he does swing through the air, and people do see him up above the city. Spider-Man has returned, and right now, there actually is the lizard. The lizard has gone underground, at least since that fight. However, whenever he does start to hear about how Spider-Man he did return, a number of things started to happen. Deku, he went around. He used this new suit and found it to be very interesting. I mean, it almost feels wow, it's so high tech, and Mr. Stark made this for him in just one night? That's awesome. But if now he feels a little bad. He confronted the men and okay. Well, the man needed some reflection on himself, right? And Deku, he needed help, so he feels a little... He owes Tony an apology, or Mr. Stark an apology. He knows that much. Now, the lizard, over the course of a few days, he does start to pick up a few things. He tries to go through and find certain pieces. He knows that he wants Spider-Man, and right now, he does eventually find him. As Deku is swinging through the air, and the lizard, he does it to make his way out from the sewers. Him popping up and trying to attack. And right now, if he does it to roar out in anger, they're actually Deku does land onto a car. And a few people do go to see Deku. As right now, Deku, he does stare at the lizard with anger in his eyes. As some people do go to watch. It's Spider-Man! And Deku does it a rush forwards. As when he does so, he actually does a punch the lizard directly across the face. The man being sent flying down the street. And Deku does throw out his right hand. Him going to shoot a web out and grab onto the lizard, before he does pull him back in. And Deku does a leap forwards, smashing his leg upwards and into the lizard. As the man, he actually does get stuck to Deku's foot. As his suit does do something that Deku, he doesn't expect. It goes to reach out and wrap around the lizard's body. And Deku's surprised. Super high tech. I'm going to pull back his fist. And it does going to grow in size. I'm going to punch the lizard across the face. Now, the lizard is trying to retaliate with his tail. Him going to swing around and smash Deku and sending him flying. And Deku, he actually does want to throw his body around, his feet laying on the side of the building before he does jump off. Him actually cracking the building as Deku is going to rush to get the lizard, smashing into him and throwing him directly into the side of a building. Now, Deku does just want to bring his hands back, punching the lizard over and over and over. And Deku does feel the rage. He feels the anger. Himiko Toga. That was her name. And right now, Deku, he does send out a punch that does get a crack in the building. And a few people do to watch Spider-Man. Spider-Man's punching away at the villain. And he's not stopping. He's gonna kill him. Now, Deku, he actually doesn't feel the goblin, or not goblin, he doesn't feel the lizard gonna bring up his hand. Him going to grab onto Spider-Man's as he does try to fight back. And then he does a turn and swing his tail down. As Deku, he does feel Spider Sense go off. Him gonna jump up and throw his feet onto the lizard. Before his feet go to wrap onto him, and the lizard does go rushing forwards. Him fatigued. As he's gonna smash Spider-Man directly into a car. Deku gonna turn and grab onto the door. I'm gonna rip it off its hinges and smash it across the lizard's face. Before, he just does gonna swing it back around, over and over. And right now, Deku, he's just gonna smash the lizard over and over again in the face. And a few people are watching this on television. Spider-Man's losing his fucking mind. And somebody, they currently do go to somewhat listen to this, as they want to step in. They know that the lizard, they've run into that weird fucker. I mean, hell, it's definitely been strange. But right now, they're deciding that they need to stop this. And that's where Jessica, she decided that maybe her little espionage days, or hiding in the shadows, might need to come forwards. And Deku, he actually is smashing the lizard across the face. And the lizard, he is trying to keep up. His regeneration is starting to be maxed out. And there is starting to be lasting damage. Deku, he knows the man's weaknesses. He's a feral animal, Deku blasting out webs. And the lizard does not feel his face or his muzzle get wrapped up. As Deku, he does want to stand there over the lizard. And right now, he does have a choice. He has a choice to kill. Whether or not he can actually do this. Deku gonna walk over and grab the door. That does actually have blood on it. Him dragging it forwards and tying the lizard. He was one of the people who killed her. He was one of the people who made him fail. And Deku is not going to stand there, bring his foot up and smashing it down to the lizard's head, talking about it. He wanted him to fail, didn't he? He wanted to be this reptile. He wanted to be the lizard. He'll die as the lizard then. Deku bring the car door up. And right now they're going to shoot out a web. As Deku does this, feel the door get pulled from his grasp. I'm going to turn and stare at... who the hell? Spider-Woman. Now, she actually is going to stare at Deku, informing him. You know, maybe he probably shouldn't do that. Listen, she gets it. He's mad, but this is a little too far, even for him. Stop and consider it. He got her killed. Got who killed? We're going to jump down. And Deku doesn't going to glare at this person. They have spider powers like him. Who are you? I assume you're the Spider-Man? Nice, outfit change. Yeah, it was a gift. Listen, just stay out of this. I'm not gonna do that. Why not? Because if you cross that line, it's gonna cause a lot of problems. For me and for S.H.I.E.L.D. What's S.H.I.E.L.D.? Listen, it's a lot to explain. But just come with me. You're not doing well and I'm not going anywhere. He needs to die. Deku turning back. And the lizard? He's gone. Deku looking around. No. No, 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 no. Deku turning back, shouting at her. Look what she did. He got away. Now, Jessica just tried to tell Spider-Man to calm down. Take a second. Does he even realize what he's about to do? Does he realize that if he does that, he'll be a criminal? And Deku does a turn. He's going to throw out a web, and they're going to swing away. As right now, Spider-Woman, She just won't stand there. Something's clearly wrong with that guy's head. Whatever happened, the death of that girl, it affected him. And he's not doing well. And Deku, he was trying to rationalize it. He had it in his mind. An eye for an eye. And the lizard, he would have been dead, down for the count. He's already harmed people. But he won't allow that. He either needs to find a way to cure him or kill him. The cure was destroyed. And remaking those chemicals, redoing everything, it would take time. Yes, he could try to go around and get the chemicals again. But the lizard, it wouldn't be easy. Curing him would take too much time. But then there's that thing that lady said. Shield. What exactly is shield? That being on Deku's mind, as he does swing through the air. And he does still at least feel good about this new suit. But currently there is Reed Richards, who he was analyzing the pieces of the rock that were hollow. And he's found something very strange. He detected life signs, but they're gone. Whatever was inside that rock, it was emitting energy. Weak, but energy. And now it's a rock. Whatever made it so interesting to him is no longer there. And that does somewhat concern him. But he's also concerned about what he's heard about Spider-Man so far. Later that day, he learns that Spider-Man, he was a menace. He confronted the lizard and almost took the man's life. And that somewhat disturbed Mr. Richards. Whatever he said to Deku clearly didn't stick. No pun intended. And he's a bit more intrigued. Deku is finding his own path as a hero. If he tries to stop him, Deku might do something bad. The kid clearly outpaces them in power. Ben's the only one he'd listen to. But even then, the kid could get hurt. And trying to talk him down, that's got to be an option first. So there's that. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.